Hey, what's up everybody? Lawler here with some more Rocket League information. We officially have the September update patch now out, and as you can see, I'm actually in-game for once, which normally doesn't happen here. There has been some major adjustments, and unfortunately, my recording broke. I've actually already done this and was going to kind of bring you guys through some of the cool things that they actually implement. One of those things being when you boot up Rocket League for the very first time, it brings you into this like cool cinematic intro video that you actually end up playing along with, where they tell you to click a button prompt and then you do it, and then it brings you into the game. After you get brought into the game immediately, it then asks you to link your Epic Games Store to create a primary or a secondary, and basically has you log in. It tells you to choose your primary. It's a step-by-step process, whether you have multiple accounts from other platforms or not. For myself, I have an Epic Games account, which it recognized automatically, so be careful of that. If you have ever logged into an Epic Games account on your browser, it will link that as well by default, and you cannot unlink that after you are done. So be very careful if you have multiple accounts for that reason. But after you're done with that, then you link your account, all that kind of stuff. And after you do so, you get the chopper wheels and a bunch of other stuff. But it'll have a display and it'll show you the 5 items that you get for free. Faded Cosmos, Golden Cosmos, DSC Oros, Huntress Banner, then an established 2015 title. So it'll have all those. Also in the titles, it will also have an established 2020 title. I think it's because everybody is installing it at this point. They're giving both of those for you guys. But obviously I have a 2015 one because I played on the first day of launch. Kind of underwhelming, I will say, from the titles. I wish that they had some differentiation of it. This is something that you're giving to your legacy players, people that have been playing your game since before it went free to play. Give it a color, give it a little bit of uniqueness, something. I think it'd be even cooler if they had like a day 1 title. People that have been playing since the very first day in July. I think it was July 7th, 2015. I think that would be cool, but the fact that there's no differentiation between the titles, I think feels actually pretty lackluster. Then it asks you on the right-hand side to link your account to an Epic Games account. So it no longer will display as Steam or otherwise or a Rocket ID. It now shows as your Epic Games ID, and then you can link and bring all your Epic friends. So I have a bunch of people that have requested me otherwise. You can also add all those people on Epic Games as well, and that will then link and also separate between your different platforms. And even though, so Phantom Ace is actually streaming right now, shout out to Phantom Ace. He is on Epic Games as a friend, but he also shows in Steam also. So it does show both of those as a heads up. But here's the Oros, if you guys haven't seen these. They're more of a gold, is what it is. So that's the Golden Cosmos. Sounds are a little bit weird, not gonna lie. Not sure if I'm gonna use them. Full screen right now is actually a hoax. It is actually a borderless full screen that's going on right now. So people can move to other screens right now like I am. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but I can move it off without any issues, and it feels as if it is windowed. So it is actually a borderless full screen. It is not a true full screen. Your inputs are tied to your frame rate. So for pros, 250 is like where you need to go. While we're here already, we can take a look at the inventory system. When I booted up the game as well, it gave me a ton of items, and those are basically your legacy items. So when you go into your quality of legacy, it gives you a ton of different items, and these are basically all the items that you could get from just playing the game, your kind of OG uncommon items. And there's a lot. It also gives you all the vehicle bodies that came from previous, as well as like the DLC items from legacy and a bunch of other stuff there. So there's an absolute ton of them. Not tradable, can't do anything with them. You then jump into as well your uncommons. Similar situation, if you highlight these, it'll actually say that you can trade some of these in and you can trade these up. These are the ones that they wanted you to make sure you traded in beforehand, because those are the ones that are going to be very difficult to get your painted octanes or whatever it may be. I ended up trading some already and got a Mantis. That's the one that I ended up getting. So I got a little bit lucky with a car body when doing it. If you look at your options, some things have changed as well. There are some different features. Tournament schedule region, I think, and stuff has always been there, but extras has been moved out. There used to be an extras feature in the menu in the drop down. That's no longer the case. It is now put in your options, and that's where you actually redeem codes. External matches used to be the stuff that we used for the Faceit plugin for API. That doesn't have. There's apparently parental controls and other things going on, but the other thing that you can do is manage your account linking in here, which just links you to the website that I showed you guys a little bit ago. If we actually go into the item shop, this actually changed throughout the day. The item shop looks as normal. I heard that there was going to be an update to the esports shop. That doesn't look like it's taken effect yet, but in the future, similar. But the big difference, and you guys can't see it, so let me turn off the webcam, is in the top right is there is actually the ability to support a content creator now. If you guys haven't seen me talk about it, if you type in code LAWL 5% of all your purchases will actually go to me. So if you decide to buy credits and you make a purchase, 5% of those funds will go to me, which I would greatly appreciate it. Also, during the day, but this has been removed recently, there is actually 2 tabs up at the top that were for those bundles that I talked about in yesterday's video. One was for the Endo starter pack, and then the other one was the Jaeger pack. Those have been removed since, so not sure where those are or if they're going to be coming later. There was expectations for those to be coming out on the 23rd, so it looks like anytime they do bundle packs, they'll just be in this shop. There'll be a different tab that you can kind of cycle through. If we actually go into the play option, the menu, obviously, as you can see, has definitely gotten a different aesthetic, and it's kind of weird, not going to lie. The biggest frustrations is there is no easy way to go into free play, into training, and the fact that it is multiple clicks to get into the basics. So as you open up and you go into casual, it is going to pull all of your options. And the big things to keep in mind, number 1, by default, single selection is turned on. So if you click all of these, it will only queue the one. If you do multiple selection, then you can select multiple options. So make sure you toggle that on if that is what you're used to. So something to keep in mind as well that's cool is once you queue, you can then go into free play or your garage right away. The other thing that's a little bit weird, and I'm going to let this one go, is while it does searching and you go into free play or training, it appears up at the top. And I don't know if you guys can see that. Up at the top, it has searching. It'll have what you're searching for, how many players, and then if you want to cancel the match, you have to press that at the top as well. So it is kind of weird how that all plays out, so keep that in mind, but make sure you turn on multiple selection, and then the same things like thumbs upping and thumbs downing arenas that you want, and what regions you are playing in. If you go into competitive, it right now will show the adjusted ranks. Even though you can't see what your positioning would be, anybody who's Grand Champ or higher will be stuck in GC1. And the same situation, if you select multiple or the one, you can queue these, but you can't do competitive or casual as well as the extra game modes. You can only do one or the other, so that is not changing. As for tournaments, it has got an overhaul. First time we're actually seeing this. You do have the fact that new tournaments are coming. This isn't really in too much effect because the sponsored tournaments and the scheduled tournaments and the rewards that are coming will not happen until we get into the future updates. So the cool thing about this is it does show that there is additional rewards when you go into this, and you can see some of the new decals that they're working on. Nothing too crazy with these, just kind of some basic things as they kind of level up what you're achieving and some different boosts that come with it. Righteous Gale is kind of the new theme that is coming from some of these. So it is taking literally the ones in lower reward and just giving them an inverted version of it. So this is this. Carpus was the like really old one here. If it's even in here, is it? Yeah, so Metal Carpus was the rare version, and then they've got inverted versions as you get further up. New Black Market decal. New Goal Explosion. That is some anime type looking stuff. And then a Digiglobe, which is another Goal Explosion. So interesting choices there, but those are the things that you can earn from the rewards. Kind of cool that they allow you to preview it. But in the rewards, it has not only the rewards that you can redeem, but also the cups. And you get more options to redeem the cups, or these are like the drops that you obtain as you perform better. Obviously, this one does talk about how you need to be at least gold or higher to get these. Thing provides match history as well as a custom tab if you want to create them, join private ones, or find tournaments in listing in general. None show up for me because I have cross-platform turned off. The scheduled tournaments, though, is what we want. These don't look like they're going to place, or these are the Psionic sponsor ones. These don't look like they're going to happen until the 23rd. As for training, it does have a little yellow tab on the other side as well when you try it for the first time. And that's to make it so for first-time people booting up the game, it incentivizes them to go into the tutorial, train, give yourself an idea of how the game is played before you jump into everything. But I did the basic tutorial, and then it immediately recommended that I went and played 3v3 casual. Some things that are missing. There is no challenge system that I've seen yet. Challenge system does not look like it's coming until the 23rd. Something that a lot of us have been talking about. I had a pretty long conversation with this about Lethamyr on my stream today about the workshop maps and what that's going to mean, because obviously workshop support isn't there for people who play from the Epic Game Store. So if there's a big influx of free-to-play players, they're just missing out on some of the content that they may be seeing. So with that said, workshop kind of unique because it does have 2 people in the workshop, which is a little bit weird. And if you go into it, still a drop-down menu. You can't switch between these early. So if I open up a workshop map, I can't just go and back out and then change into another workshop map. It makes me go and want to queue another thing. Why can't I go into extra modes, have workshop be an option, and then choose a different workshop map? I've got to back out of everything, go to the main menu, go into extras again, custom games, workshop, and then I can pick another workshop map. It's super complicated for those that want to do workshop maps relatively with ease. That's also being added in with the addition of like wanting to play training. Like there should be an option right below this for training. I think training should be removed from this and put right here. I think there needs to be a quick access. You also can't do quick play. So I can't go into play and then just do the most recent setting that I was queuing already. So anytime I go back to menu, I've got to go through the step-by-step process to get there again, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Hopefully with there being multiple people, this is us just getting our hopes up that there is a way to do this. I should be showing an image on screen as well, talking about how they talk about being able to play workshop maps on a local area network. Don't know if that's hinting at anything as well. So with that said, obviously I've gotten a lot of different feedback from people outside the scene and how their kind of experiences have been with it ultimately. And it's been pretty mixed. A lot of people feel kind of underwhelmed. In the conversation with Lethmir again, he talked about how like when it comes to actual additional content or new things that are coming out, the only really thing is the tournaments, and that hasn't even been fully released yet. So ultimately it's a lot of quality of life updates. The menu system feels a little bit less intuitive. It doesn't really feel like it fits the aesthetic of what Rocket League is. Personally, looking at it myself now for the first time, I actually don't mind it that much. I do feel though, it does feel a bit of a step backwards though when it comes to actually going into queue and setting things up for ease of use. So it does feel a little bit weird. I know people are getting frame hiccups, controllers aren't working, and those kind of things are why I think they're releasing this a week early so they can fix and implement. All throughout today, people have been having issues linking their Epic Games accounts, which is expected when thousands upon thousands of people are trying to get in. But the good thing is we saw 50,000+ people on Twitch watching the game, which is pretty cool. A bunch of different content creators kind of coming in and testing out the new update. So hopefully that continues to trend. But ultimately, some things they need to fix. Not everything is perfect, but curious to hear what your guys' experiences are. Let me know in the comments down below. What have your guys' experience been with the initial update? Is it working well? Are you having issues? Is things cleaner, smoother? Is it bad, good? Let me know. Everything in between. And while you're down there, because it always helps out, give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whether you like it or dislike it, as well as making sure to hit subscribe and turning on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the Rocket League news content that I put out on a daily basis. That is going to wrap it up for me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.